All right, number 2. We are on to number 2. So we read this problem. I have 4, open parentheses, 5 minus x equals 8. Again, my job is to solve and get x all alone. That's when I'm done. But I can't do that job because I notice I have some distributing to do. And I read this as 4 groups of 5 and 4 groups of negative x. All right, and so I have to distribute before I start to solve. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I'm going to say 4 groups of 5. Groups of is multiplication. So 4 times 5 is going to give me 20. And 4 times this negative 1x is going to give me a negative 4x's. Let me go ahead and write that down. All right, because 4 times that negative 1 is negative 4. I just brought down the equal sign and I just brought down the 8. My next step was to bring this line that if I cross it, I have to change the sign, and I'm going to make an equal sign. Now remember, if it's being added, I cross the line and it becomes a minus or a subtraction or a negative. If it's a negative, when it crosses the line, it becomes a positive. If it's being multiplied by the x, when it crosses the line, it becomes division. All right. And if it's being divided, when it crosses the line, it becomes multiplication. That's kind of those rules that cross the line, change the sign, it becomes the opposite. So I look up here, now that I've drawn the line, I know I'm all done when I get x all alone. X equals something is my done point. And I circle my terms. I have a 20. Remember, I have to circle the sign that's in front. It's no longer a negative or a minus, it's a negative 4x's and a positive 8. And I asked myself, how many of these terms have x's? Well, that one doesn't. That one does. So I'm going to make one box here. Remember, x's and non-x's, they don't like each other. So if my x's go on this side of the line, my ones that don't have x's go on the other side. And I notice that I have 2 of those. So I'm going to have 2 boxes. All right. Now, my rule is cross the line, change the sign. Well, my x's are going to live on this side. It did not cross the line, so it's just going to be a negative 4x. It's going to stay the same. This one right here has to cross over. As soon as it crosses this middle line, it goes from a positive 20 to a negative 20. And then I have my 8 that it's going to live on the same side as my non-variables, my non-x's. It didn't cross the line, so it is just going to stay 8. Okay? Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, what is happening here? And I think of those good things, bad things that we learned about. If I had 20 good things, or 20 bad things, that happened, and 8 good things, I had more bad than good. How many more? I had 12. 12 more bad things happened to me. And if I have a negative 4x's, I'm just going to bring it down. Okay. So once I get to this point, my question is, what do I do next? And what I have to think is x alone? It is not. It has this negative 4 attached to it. And it's attached right here in between. It's attached right here. And it's attached, when there's no sign, it's attached with multiplication. So I'm going to get rid of the 4, the negative 4. But if I have to break that multiplication, I undo multiplication with division. So when it crosses over, it's going to be negative 12 divided by negative 4. Okay. And we know, we've drawn this triangle multiple times, that I can use this negative, negative, positive triangle with multiplication and division. And if I have a negative and a negative, if I cross these two out, I'm left with a positive. So a negative 4 and a negative 12 makes a positive, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So my answer is x equals 3.